idea of the Breakfast Club, right? And that guy, it's pretty spot on because she's like an angsty kind of teenager troublemaker in a way, right? And she basically embodies that character, the John Bender character on the Breakfast Club. And then when she raises her hand at the end, I was like, oh my gosh, they just solidified it.
Wouldn't Ahsoka look good with a beard?
I don't think I could sit like this the whole time.
You got to do it 1 hour straight.
What you do is
we back. We in effect. What? We back.
What?
We back. Oh man, you lose, dog. All right, you out. Next round.
Left coast is the best coast.
Welcome. We got Vern today. It only costs $8 Canadian.
I was gonna put Ways of the Sith in for my name.
You still could. It might take you 13 minutes to do because only John is.
It is physical. It is physical. I would physically have to go in there.
Turtle John. So John, are you admitting that those are little turtle creatures and not just crab creatures?
I'm just going by what everyone says. Yeah, crab turtle. You can be whatever you want.
Look at this mohawk wearing freak in the chat.
Yep.
I wish
That's
I had
me
a
in
mohawk.
the days of old.
How much did you ever have a mohawk, Vern?
You know what? I will tell you this haircutting story just because you asked me that. It's a long story. It may take an hour.
Important stuff.
So it was the summer, right before the summer between like my junior and senior year, and I was like, I'm gonna change my image for my senior year. So I was gonna do this like different. I used to really have long hair, and I was gonna do this like step like cut. And I knew I couldn't go to the base barber to do it because they would just give me the military crew cut, whatever. So I cut this side perfectly. And then I switched to my left hand to do the other side. And I didn't have the little guard on the buzzer. So when I get about halfway back, it went and took a chunk. So I ended up just like cutting all my hair except for, almost like a mohawk, like a strip. And then I just put all these lines in the side of my head. That was
so vanilla ice style?
Yeah, like 1987.
Did you leave that middle part long?
No, I had already cut it. I would have
Right.
if I didn't already cut that, but I had already cut that down. And so like I had that hair, and then my brother got really upset at me because he got married in August of that summer. And when he saw my hair, he was like,
"You can't come."
Yeah, he made me go get like I got a really tight cut right before his wedding, and it kind of cleaned everything up. But I think he would have rather I had left my hair a little bit longer.
So was that your best hair ever?
What?
Was that your best hair ever?
No, I wish I would have been able to cut my hair right. And then I think about a year after that.
You can still do it. You got hair. You can let it grow long and then do it now.
It's not real hair, John.
Oh,
is that why you were never able to grow hair again, and why you're currently now bald like me? And
I wish I could grow a beard. That's the only thing. Hey,
I cut mine in stages. It was long, like down to my butt, and then I cut it just about here, like shoulder length. And then I didn't leave it the same. Like every single day when I woke up, I thought of a new hairstyle.
Wow.
So for like 2 or 3 years, I would do like flock of seagulls where I put it straight up. Sometimes I did Liberty spikes. I would just do Liberty spikes. And other times I would do like one half coming down over here and the other half was like flowing back. And I did the Misfits thing a couple times where I had all the hair coming down the front.
Coming down?
Yeah,
I was never that punky. I did have long hair, in junior high school, and I did, wear like a spiked, bleached white haircut at one time. But I was never like Flock of Seagulls or like the Cure.
I totally did Flock of Seagulls and all
my
that.
Hair
cool. It was
hair
cool,
would curl forward right here. Like if I grew any like long, it would just start curling forward. Huh. And me and a friend of mine, when we were like sophomores, because I was trying to find the perfect gel, and he told me to start using toothpaste.
Don't use gel, use toothpaste.
Yeah,
that's
like,
how my hair all follows.
I will use this. I was like, okay, there's no internet, so I believed him. And
So welcome, Jonathan. We know the Ahsoka show is also his favorite show of all time.
yes.
Mr. Duffman.
Yeah, once again, like Jonathan and I can't watch a show together because,
Because you just wouldn't agree.
Oh yeah, well, it's fun. I mean, I like Jonathan's
Orlando.
opinion on stuff. I do, I really do, and we can go back and forth forever about because we're so different on a lot of these shows. I think this was a fantastic show. I loved the pacing of it. I loved how this even this last episode went. It was great. This
Do you
is
love
Star
how
Wars.
all the
This is-
questions were answered?
Yes.
No, but I don't.
I have one question.
See, like Vern would have, or I mean, if Empire Strikes Back came out today, this guy would be sitting here complaining. None of my answers were. I had no answers. Everything is a
oh my gosh, it
cliffhanger."
was a continuation.
I'll tell you what,
He
when
would
I
just
watched
complain.
Empire Strikes
would
Back,
just complain for
Training.
3
He
years.
never became a Jedi. What
when I
happened?
watched Empire Strikes Back, I wasn't like, oh my God, they
Who
didn't tell
invented
us
that?
about
Like,
Denjar's
mechanical hand
origin
situation.
story and what planet does Boss come from. None of that stuff mattered. But like, we're introduced to Balin and Shin in this show, and then they
Who?
just delete them. Like, we will never, and that's the sad part about me. That's what makes me really disappointed with the show, is we will never, ever have a conclusion to
That
Balin's
sounds
story.
like a Taylor
Ever.
Swift song.
That's-
Even if they
Yeah,
recast
never,
it or
ever.
make him a cartoon
That's
or
not
do a
true,
comic
'cause
book, it's not
I think they
acceptable.
will. I firmly believe that what they're going to do is they're now going to rewrite. They're going to go, okay, we can't do with Balin what we thought. If they do not recast him, if they recast him, we're just going to see the story with a new actor. But if they do not recast him, they're going to go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have Shin with those raiders or whatever. She's going to at one point go.
Oh, is that what she was?
I gotta
raising
go.
her hand?
She's at one point gonna go. I gotta go find out
wait,
what
wait,
Balin
wait.
was after.
Wasn't she
and she's
planning to
gonna go
run
over
down
there.
there and like obliterate them?
No,
Wasn't
no.
that what she was doing?
She's going to rule them all. She's like, you
I
are
thought
now
she was
under
like,
my.
I'm coming to get you. I'm
No,
gonna,
she's like,
cut all
I
your
am now
heads
the
off.
great one who's your leader. I'm your leader now. That's what she.
The
was
thing
doing.
is, she
that's
could
how
go
you saw
kill them
that?
all.
Yeah.
Unlike like Ahsoka and Sabine and Ezra, who can't kill 10 zombie stormtroopers or 2 zombie death troopers. It's like too much for them. And that's again I'm going to list the 3,000 reasons why this show actually sucked donkey balls at the end. So Thrawn was great. They portrayed him great. He sounded great. He looked great. Every time they showed him, there was great, military presence and
I'm
the
surprised you
docking
didn't ask for
bay
1,000,000 credits.
and all the stormtroopers and TIE fighters, all that stuff was all there. But you're getting hunted down by Anakin Skywalker's apprentice and 2 other Jedis. And hey, let's send only 2 TIE fighters to go get them. Or a deal. That's smart.
Let's shoot
And
every
then let's
cannon from our ship.
let's get
which
10
we won't get
volunteers.
first.
Because this is what military people do. Let's get 10 volunteers to go fight off these 3 Jedis. What a great military choice
But you said he was
to get 10
portrayed
volunteers to go to help save your life and your crew of maybe thousands of people. Let's send 10 people and 2 TIE fighters, and that's it. That's it. That's all he ever did.
Because he
That's all he
doesn't
ever
need
did.
to send a whole army. He just needs to distract them and keep them.
Send the whole damn army, and only 1 blue man survives, and then you're safe. Like, since when is he not a selfish, military guy? Like,
He didn't
all
need to
this
do
stuff
anything.
was just
He just
poor
needed
writing.
He
His
just needed
character
to
was
distract.
completely
If
based
this is
on
a cartoon, the kids would be crying at the end because they didn't know about what are you doing. I don't get it. I didn't see any cliffhanger in the show at all.
All he had to do was strand them on the planet. He didn't have to kill them or do anything else. That was his goal, was just to strand them there and keep them there.
No, his goal was
he
to
didn't
get
strand
back
them
to the other
all.
galaxy.
He did not strand them all. Ezra got on the ship.
No, yeah.
So he did not fulfill his goal.
When it was
Exactly,
when it
like-
was very slowly taking 15 minutes to leave, super slowly. They let
The
Ezra
warm-up
jump on.
engine hadn't been flown in like
Yeah,
hundreds
that's
of
right.
years.
And
They let Ezra
Yeah.
jump on the ship, but that's okay. I mean, one good guy had to get back to tell the rebellion, or
So let's get
whoever they
this-
are now.
terrible season finale over with.
It's not terrible. It was good. You're the only one who thinks it was terrible.
I'm the only one of
In
the
all of the
millions and
entire
millions
world,
of people.
So the handmaids attacked Aunt Lydia here.
Yes, and she got some new tattoos. So she's now dead. As of right now in this screenshot, we're 1 minute into the series, they killed her. Like, that's
Is
a word I'm going to use.
Is that what it is when they give her the magic powers? They're killing her, or just like tattooing her with the power? Are they
She already had the power. So that's what I don't understand.
Die.
They gave her no power.
They gave her like a green thing.
Yeah, they gave her the power sword from Power Rangers. That's it. But they didn't give her power. They just took the white out of her eyeballs. That's it. But what I'm assuming they did.
No, they gave her tattoos on her face, right?
Yeah.
She was able to. Yeah, they gave her new tattoos. So this, and then she died.
So new action figure sold.
Or just repaint your other one. But she was a highlight of this series because
you want to repaint your other one?
She's a good dueler, and I thought her battle with Ahsoka at the end was actually one of the better ones in this series. She did pretty good. She's way faster, way more skilled in the sword fighting techniques than Ahsoka ever was or will be in live action. In the cartoons, they can make the shit go really fast. So when we see this in live action and they don't speed it up, Ahsoka looks like a dead bag of sand with light sticks in her hands. So I thought she fought very poorly. You
didn't like the choreography in this fight scene?
Again, what the sisters did to her is, I'm assuming they did the same thing to her that she did to those 10 volunteer stormtroopers, which is like, turn them into zombies once they die once. So then she goes and dies once and didn't come back to life as a zombie. So
yeah, because
there's my one left coast theory of the day is she's not dead.
They do the same thing to her that they did to the zombie.
Yeah, they did not wrap her in red tape.
Yeah.
She cannot turn into a zombie because she's
not dead. She'll be back, so she can kill Ahsoka.
Nope.
But yeah, so I don't get that, man. Like, I guess she's not dead.
But yeah, I do agree that this actress who plays Ahsoka, you can tell that she learned those moves like the day before. She's not very, or maybe even like an hour before shooting the scene, because she's not very skilled. It doesn't seem like she's athletic at all. She's not very skilled.
I agree. I don't see her just as an athletic person to begin with.
I love her to death. It seems like she's moving them and like in her head, she's going, I have to swipe life, then go like this, then do this, then go like this. So it's like she's just following a pattern and not really fighting. And it's so
what you're saying, John, is that she did a whole Dancing with the Stars routine.
Maybe
kind of choreographed.
Learning her dance, and then
I've never watched Dancing with the Stars, so I don't know.
But Morgan was pretty skilled with the sword, so I was impressed to see that. Yeah. And it was.
I wish she would have held up that sword and said, "There can be only one."
Mm-hmm. There was actually a few cool lines, like "Long live the Empire" came out of Thrawn's mouth more than once this series. So, part 8, season finale. We'll never ever hear the end of this story. The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord.
In the wardrobe.
I don't know. Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
I thought that was the Gotcha Man ship.
Pretty cool scenery though. Like, this wasn't done in the volume, so it was cool to see some of this kind of stuff.
So you think this was filmed out in somewhere? You don't think this was
real?
On a computer?
This is very real.
This was
they
a total
actually
CG.
flew a ship and drove a bunch of RVs
This
around.
Was 100% CG shot. This is absolutely.
Come on, John. These are all real turtle vans. So it was cool scenery. We don't know where they're going. They're just going. Let's use up the fuel we have. So kind of neat scene for people that like cartoons. As we get, he has an extra saber emitter for Kanan. So that was kind of cool. We were wondering if Ezra was gonna, get some saber action going on. So how many lightsabers do you think Dr. Wuhan or whatever his name is can build in Ahsoka's ship? Like enough for an army?
I don't know, but he's got to have the parts and that emitter or whatever that he gave that was just like Kanan's. I wonder how many of those he had because it seemed like it was taking Ezra a long time to find one.
Well, he did say I made 2 of these just in case this would happen.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
No, but
is
what he's saying is he must have had a lot of emitters.
Yeah,
for sure.
Ezra found a different one before he gave him that one, and he was going through all the drawers. So it seems like there might not be that many of that part in there.
Okay.
So maybe 2.
But don't they have like a 3D printer?
No,
that stuff wasn't invented in Star Wars universe.
This is current day, John.
I don't think because that stuff's not made out of plastic unless you go to Disney World.
And this is cool that they had a sunroof, option on Sabine's.
But we've seen that in like other episodes where
we've seen it in every
Ahsoka
episode.
Goes out and does the Rey Kylo Ren
spends
scene.
more time on the wing of her plane than she does inside her.
She goes out there to talk to Wells.
Spaceship.
Yeah.
But so every time they showed these characters on the screen, I lost complete interest in the series. Nothing happened. It was nothingness. It was pointless dialogue.
You didn't just fast forward?
And then this happened. Then the 2 single TIE fighters they sent to destroy the ship and all the turtle wagons.
Almost did it.
Yeah,
Crab.
They should have.
Crab.
They were actual TIE fighter pilots. And then boom, it worked. So only 2 TIE fighters was enough to ground the ship. Because for whatever reason, you're able to smash 2 TIE fighters with your spaceship, and they blow up, and your ship doesn't blow up. So it's made of
TIE fighters.
Is it made of Beskar? This ship now?
No, that's
very powerful.
Listen,
I mean, look how many blasts from that freaking those turbo cannons.
Did you not watch Andor? Everything made by the Empire is pieced together from criminals or people that are being held in like prison institutions where they have to build everything on like some sort of like a time code. So everything's made super quickly, super cheaply. No wonder the TIE fighters were easily destroyed by running into something.
But when I first saw this, I'm like, oh no, they blew up the Ghost. I'm like, wait,
not
that's not
correct on everything. He was totally wrong.
Did he get none right?
It was like it was depending on your point of view, I guess.
From a certain point of view.
From a certain point of view.
So again, we just got slow storytelling going on. I don't see where it's going at this point. But I'm still awake. Unlike Dino, at this point, Dino's already fallen asleep.
Can I ask you a question? Were you watching this at like 6:01, or were you watching it like close to midnight with like a beer after drinking 3 beers, and that's why you were like?
No, I watched it at 6:01. I'm a loser.
I was right there with you, pal.
I'm a sucker for new Star Wars. But
I had my popcorn, soda.
I watched it the next day when I was at work.
And I didn't watch it a second in time until today. I just couldn't do it. I was just my least most wanted episode of all Star Wars ever was this one. So
if you look at
Thrawn, I struggled to watch it a second time, and I only watched it to take these screenshots.
I think you're crazy. I think that's insane. You're just nuts.
I'm crazy, spoonhead.
Yeah, you're just nuts.
So your picture of Thrawn is exactly why I don't wear clothes and belts like this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how I would look. I mean, look at this.
Exactly.
But right. Enoch is sounding more and more like a Cylon. Like, was that what you were hitting at that? So the droid has the red eye of the Cylon, but this guy sounds like a Cylon, so he's pretty cool. But yeah, so what do we got here? Like 20 volunteers in a military. In what military, in what country, in what bizarro universe do they use volunteers to save them from like destruction?
There's more than 10 of them too, by the way.
Like every freaking military show you see, they go, okay, guys.
Okay, let's just use America as an example.
Listen, I've watched it on countless.
I'm going with you.
On countless shows, on countless movies, I have seen Americans trapped behind enemy lines in the Middle Eastern. Those movies that they do were in the Middle East, and the guys go, "I'm not going to force any one of you guys to go, but I'm going to go rescue them. It's all going to. If any of you guys want to come with me, you can." And they all step forward and go, "We're with you, sir." And so those guys volunteered. That whole group
For the
volunteered
Empire.
to go. So
These guys could care less.
Our orders are to take that hill, but I'm not going to order any of you to go up that
You have to
hill.
volunteer. You won't get
So-
paid.
That's what these guys did. They were like,
But they look
if you
good,
are
at least.
loyal to Thrawn, you will volunteer to do this mission. And they went, "We're loyal to Thrawn," ka-chunk. And they all stamped their feet together to make that sound.
But no more chanting Thrawn anymore. Then now they're like, fuck, we're going to die. But as we all predicted, the Chimera Star Destroyer.
Well, we
goes with
predicted. You
Mount.
kept yelling it would never fit in there and it wouldn't work because it
Well, I
was,
thought you could
so
fit
big
13
that
of
it
them
would
in there. I thought they could fit a whole army in there because
Yeah.
I guess his army now is all those coffins. So that's
Yeah.
the one thing that's kind of interesting in this series is, okay, what is going to happen with these, coffins or human-shaped boxes? And they're back in Dathomir, which is, where all the malls and Night Sisters come
I
from.
thought
So
they were photon torpedoes.
that could be.
No,
Could be
they're
just
coffins.
frozen-
A whole bunch of Spocks.
Could be a bunch of death sticks that they're smuggling to the other galaxy too.
It's
But
a
some
whole
cool
bunch of
scenery.
Dead Spock.
Then we get to the silliness of all the silliness.
Yeah, but isn't that an awesome shot?
Well, it's an awesome shot because I know when to take an awesome screenshot.
Yeah.
But so we see Ahsoka, being a little bit more of a military leader, kind of like, okay, open the door. Sabine, use your blasters instead of your lightsabers. So, we're getting some direction from the
But was she
master
just
herself.
telling Sabine because Sabine doesn't seem very tactical and didn't know to close the door, didn't know to open the door, didn't know to do this.
Well,
And she's
I
just
think
like,
without
okay,
saying it,
here's a kid. I got to tell him what to do. Hey, pick up your room. Don't forget your backpack. Make sure you grab your cereal before we walk out the door.
Put that helmet on.
I did watch the subtitles, and Ahsoka actually said, Sabine, you suck. Grab your blasters.
Stop taking your helmet
But
off.
she said it really fast.
What version of subtitles are you using?
Stop taking your helmet off. She kept saying
The
that. Stop taking
Canadian
your helmet off.
French version. So look how happy she is. She just killed all 20 of these stormtroopers.
How do these stormtroopers end up dying anyways if none of them really got stabbed by a lightsaber or their armor?
All they did for 3 minutes that I saw was deflect blaster bolts, not at other stormtroopers. They just deflected them up
But like
and
when
down.
they hit them with the saber on the outside of the uniform, it doesn't go through the armor. But
Yeah, I
somehow
thought
they
that was a
fall
little
over
weird.
and
I've actually always thought that was a little weird. Like in all of Star Wars, I've been like, how come when they fight a Jedi, their arms can get chopped off, but when they fight other like stormtroopers and various other things, they don't all get chopped in half?
I don't get it either because only one trooper had his head chopped off this episode.
Yeah,
and it was the last one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why didn't that happen? Like
There
here
should have
10
been
times?
arms and legs just flying everywhere, I think.
I agree. Like, because we know it can happen. We've seen what Vader can do. We've
Just
seen what
flying.
Kenobi can
I mean,
do.
Arms flying that
We
way.
saw
legs
what
flying
Luke
that
can do with those space trooper things. So
way. Yeah.
I don't know. Like a lot
It's
gets
always been a
taken
Star
away
Wars
from
show.
me.
I mean,
As much as I get entertained watching new Star Wars, some stuff I'm just like, you can't just change. Like the Force doesn't work that way, as Han Solo said. Like you can't just change shit. Like Sabine
Well, it's
living from a
always been-
lightsaber blow.
It's always been that way. It was a trope because that Lucas said it himself when he started doing the prequels. If you watch that thing that he did, like behind the scenes thing, he says right in it, he says the problem is when he did the original trilogy, and even when like Luke is fighting the biker scouts and fighting stormtroopers on Endor, he's like, I didn't want them to be every other guy to be dismembered. I didn't want them. And he goes, I was running into a problem trying to write some of the scenes, being like, yeah, if he has a lightsaber, these guys should all be cut in half. So he goes, so instead in the prequels, I came up with a droid army so that I could show the Jedi chopping people in half.
Can you
In this case, it would be robots. So he
Can you
made
put
up the rule
Jonathan's-
that He made up the rule in a sense that on screen they were only going to show robots being cut in half. Everything else was, if it was a trooper, we just fall over dead.
But that's not true anymore, right? Jonathan says zombies don't really work as a threat when the 3 main cast members have weapons that slice and dice body parts, but with every hit. But I mean, that's completely contrary to what I saw, because I didn't see one body
none of them
part
fell apart. Yeah, they should have, but they don't.
But
it's only because they're
held
following
them together.
It's only because they're following the rules George put down. If it's a droid, it can get cut in half. If it's not, it can't.
And the tape holds the troopers together.
That's what it is that red tape.
The red tape. I have some here. So I'm gonna put it on. That way nobody can cut me in.
So you're gonna put some LEDs, green LEDs in their eyes now too?
No, I'm not gonna do all that. I'm just gonna get some phosphorescent paint or something.
Just step out into traffic. Put tape around you and then step out into traffic. See if it works.
You know, the easiest way to get like a glow on something, if you want to just do a quick picture, is Photoshop. But the second easiest way is if you get those like glow sticks, you can cut them open after you crack them, and then you could take some of the glowing gel.
Yeah, get it all over your hands, because I think that stuff's totally not toxic.
Yeah, it's totally not toxic. It'll never give you cancer.
You can taste like mint too.
No, you can't.
It'll never give you cancer. Truly, I think you're gonna die if you cut one of those open. You're dead. Don't do it.
I don't think you would die.
Yeah, you will.
It's that toxic.
You're dead.
It's radioactive, but it's not that toxic. Come on.
So, long live the Empire, as Thrawn said many times, and now he's letting.
Except not long live you. So go get yourself killed.
Yes, and then he said, and not long live you. So yeah, she seemed surprised by this, but I don't know. Should she have seemed surprised, or when they killed her and gave her black eyeballs, was that not the first hint that
they didn't kill her? They gave her power.
They turned you into a zombie witch lady.
No, they didn't.
Did she not get the clue that you're going to be a sacrifice for the Empire? But it was, I don't know. Again, his military tactics don't seem to be up to. Hey, what's up, Jeff? Star Wars addict. Just don't seem to be up to par. I don't think. 2 TIE fighters.
Why is it that coasters never work? Eventually, you will pick up the drink, and the coaster comes with it, and then it falls off. It's like it's
stick
a big
blood
pain in the ass.
So yeah, like again, nothing exciting is happening. We see all these TIE fighters and stormtroopers just parked, just doing nothing, and then a cool duel. So what do you guys think of this battle?
Oh, it was good. Yeah, although I thought she would just kill him fast, but.
Was I the only one like on the edge of my seat? Like, please die, Ahsoka! Please die, Ahsoka! Please die! Please die! Please die! Please, because I die by the Power Ranger power sword. Please die!
Because in between our last conversation about the last episode and this one airing, I came to a conclusion that Ahsoka and Sabine have to be left behind. Where in the past, I think I said if anyone gets left, it's only Ahsoka. But I thought about it and said, no, wait a minute. It has to be Ahsoka and Sabine, because Ahsoka will go after Baylan and Sabine has to go after Shin. So I knew that if Baylan and Shin were both on the planet, then it would have to be Ahsoka and Sabine left on the planet. So therefore I knew she wouldn't die, because I logically sussed out the...
What if in season 2, Shin kills Sabine and then puts on her armor and makes everybody think she's Sabine.
Wow. And she never takes the helmet off?
So I just want to throw this out there, because for a month or more now, people have been, Ahsoka, season 2, this. There will not ever be, in my opinion, a season 2 of this show. Not just because it was the worst Star Wars show ever. And the ratings are out now. It is the least favorited and watched of all the
Star Wars.
That's bullshit. Where are you getting your ratings? Are you getting your
where you get your information from?
Are you getting your polls from like where Hasbro finds their Black Series?
I watched it on Star Wars Meg, and she knows.
You're getting your info from bullshit places. I gotta tell you that. Because I'll tell you this, okay?
It was in the National Enquirer.
My family has never made it through. My family didn't make it through Andor. They didn't make it through some of these other shows like.
Neither is Dino.
But they watched all of this,
For
including
different
the last
reasons.
episode, and they were on the edge of their seat. They were like, "This is real Star Wars." So if average people are watching this show, not just Star
They're
Wars,
not. They're actually the viewership on this is one of the lower of all.
No.
Let me tell you what the biggest
you're
problem.
just saying that because you didn't
I'm not
like
just
the
saying
show.
that.
Yeah, you
This
are.
show was made for the people that watch the cartoons. So
What you
if
guys
you're
need-
if you're younger than 33 years old, this is your jam.
Which is 400 million people in the United States.
Well, yeah,
So
but
there
there's-
you go.
Hold on,
400 million people.
I think that the
still in
problem
elementary
with
school
this
half of
show
them.
for you guys is that you both have seen Rebels, and if you had just
And
not
it meant
watched the
nothing.
animated
I didn't
stuff,
need to see
you'd be
Rebels.
bitching.
I didn't need to see it. Like this show, sure, there's a couple little Easter eggs here and there. Like if you wanted to know a
But
little
the
bit
thing
more
is,
about
you
the
did
witches,
see it.
you
You
could.
did see it, so you already went.
Well,
in
because
your
I'm a
pants
Star Wars
with an
nerd and I'm an
expectation. I
addict.
didn't
Like
go
I'm a
in with an
junkie. Like
expectation.
I need more of the wars, man. I need more. I need all of it. But when it's this bad, man. So again, what I was saying about the no season 2 thing, I stand by that because if
Okay.
there was a season 2, it would be
Your
after
left coast
the movie.
theories thing.
It would be after the
I'm
movie, which
moving
is
to-
after Mando season 4. So in 2077, it would be a time they could make a season 2 for this, and Ahsoka would have a
Season
long
2 is gonna-
beard. And
But
there's no season 2. If there's a season 22, it's in 2029,
No, the movie will happen after the season 2.
which is
You guys are
2028.
forgetting.
The movie's coming
You
out.
guys are forgetting this isn't the only show. They're like they could do a show called like Balin, the search for blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like they could do a show called
When does that come
The
out?
Mortis.
2030?
They could do a show called The Mortis People. You know what I mean? Father, son, and
It
daughter.
takes
And
years
that
to
show
make
will
these shows.
continue this story.
It takes years.
This story will continue in whatever's next. It could be
Yeah.
Mandalorian season 4, and the
Well,
Mandalorian shows
I
up
think
to fight
it's a
Thrawn.
skeleton crew that's, was originally supposed to come out this Christmas or January, but I don't think it's going to come out till next Christmas. Would be partially because they had to stop filming or strike and all this kind of crap. So that put a big damper on most, Hollywood stuff. But it put so much of a damper into Star Wars. Like every year they announce, oh, we're going to make these 3 or 5 new Star Wars shows. And then, so literally they announced we're going to make 5 Star Wars shows and movies. And then they somehow cancel 7 of them. So they get to negative numbers. But we already know Skeleton Crew is something they've already filmed and is like post-production, I believe. And that's supposed to be next. After that, the other show that they're still filming, The Acolyte, which again, I don't know a lot about that show. That's also supposed to be next in line. So there's 2 incomplete shows that are supposed to be next. Then a Mando season 4, which hasn't been filmed yet. So we're not getting that for at least 3.5 years. And then the movie, they won't make the movie until after Mando season 4. So let's say 4.5 to 5 years before they even start making a movie. That's if they're still not on strike in 4.5 years. So the actors have a lot of money. They can strike for as long as they want, and they're not going to have to sell their beachfront properties in Malibu. That's how I see it. Key grips and other people that were on strike, they need their houses and groceries. So that's why I think they took a deal. But the actors are in this for the long haul. I don't think we're going to. Writers are not enough. They need the people to perform the performances. But that's just my opinion on there not being a season 2. And I don't know. It'll be a long time. So there's so much other Star Wars I'd rather see.
It'll be you will see this story continued in whatever comes out next, whether it's Mandalorian season 4 or some new show they got, or maybe if the Skeleton Crew connects to this stuff.
It will, in a
I
way.
don't even know what the Skeleton Crew thing is about, so I'm not going to say whether or not it's going to involve any of this stuff because I have no clue what it's about yet, and I don't care until the show comes out because I just don't like knowing anything until I watch it.
So Vern, have you made this figure yet?
I'm what figure?
This
I have
zombie
not.
Death Trooper. It's been a couple.
I have
days.
not, but I have the.
I have 2 of them already.
I have that credit collection one, which is
Yeah.
like kind of brownish, has that color, and I'm sure I could just add like cracks to it and stuff like that, and it would be pretty much done.
Looks pretty cool. Like at first, I didn't notice like the gold repairs until they were actually kicking ass on Sabine and Ezra, and it looked badass, man. Like almost as cool as that Captain America zombie figure from Marvel Legends, but not quite. But then we got new force jumping stuff. I hope these pictures are in order.
Force jump, push. She pushed.
Force
He
jump,
jumped.
push.
He jumped. She pushed.
So what did you think of this whole force jump? Okay, there should be a picture there. This whole
It's
force
fine.
push jump stuff.
We've seen Anakin and Obi-Wan do it a million times, so it's totally fine.
I'm trying to remember one time I've seen Anakin or Obi-Wan fly.
Everybody
in the
keeps saying that,
cartoons?
like,
Oh,
see,
okay, cartoons
In the
don't count.
Clone Wars
hold on.
cartoon a million
everybody
times.
says, everybody in the comments of my stupid short was like saying that
They fly now?
Kanan and Ezra lifted Sabine
Yeah.
over a bunch of things. So they're
No, I
using
know,
that
I know. I'm
as
just-
like Sabine did a force jump. She didn't do any force jump. They lifted her. But
I'm
I
just
can
making fun.
see
It was actually a pretty neat scene.
it was two
just
force
to see it
users
happen.
using their force powers, because after
Yeah.
she grabbed her lightsaber, now she has the ability to push a person
Yep.
100 yards.
Yep. Exactly.
But, and then we made it. We're led to believe now it's her turn. Sabine's gonna go get in
No,
the
but she doesn't
sprinters.
go. No,
But
she
no,
doesn't
she
go.
wants to save her
I mean,
master.
Yeah.
Because as soon as
Which
Luke
is-
was able to pull his lightsaber out of the snow, he was able to lift the X-wing, right?
Yeah, no,
No.
I get it. I get the the
Yoda
rhyming
lifted the
shit,
X-wing.
and those are some of the parts
Luke
of this,
lifted a rock.
this series that I did like. Right, even her expression. Sabine was actually was the pretty good eye actor in this episode. She did pretty good, but it wasn't. It's kind of what Dr.
Her
Hu Yang
eyebrows
was
were
telling
on.
them at the beginning of the series, like make sure you stay together, and then she didn't stay together at first. But now it's another time of peril, and she decided she made the right choice here to stay and help Ahsoka, and I think that's why Ahsoka is still alive, sadly, because Sabine stayed and shot dead stormtroopers again and again and again, and finally did some slicing and dicing, and didn't really take any arms or legs off, but did some pretty good damage. Where they took him a minute to get back up again.
They took a
Matrix
head
jump,
off
that's what
later,
reminded
though,
me of.
don't they?
That was Ezra. Ezra took the only head off this whole
Oh, it
series.
was him before he got on this thing. Okay.
It would have been.
But
It would have
Sabine
been cool if
stabbed that
Ahsoka
one
lost
dude
a
in the
hand.
brain. So that's almost like cutting a head off. She
Yeah, there you go.
point blank
That
them
was
right
pretty
through the
cool.
head.
That did remind me of Kylo Ren and Snoke. That kind of whole scene, which was
But he didn't cut his
3,000
head
times
off, he just
better
cut him
than
in
any
half.
scene in this whole series.
In
And
the
I
Ray
didn't love those sequels.
in the Ray follow-up series, Snoke's going to return and he's going to have a spider body.
Yep.
Very possible.
Yep.
Look for that in 2038. All right, what's the next slide? The next slide better be good. Oh, Ahsoka broke her lightsaber.
Oh well,
But-
that's
Just
one.
to give her, it's just to
She
give her
didn't pick up
new ones. The next time we see her, she'll have 2 new lightsabers, and there'll be new
Oh.
toys. They'll just
No,
be like, okay, the
But
new,
you
gonna-
mistake it.
the
Look,
new versions of Ahsoka's
This thing got
lightsabers.
destroyed, right? So she's going to go back to the rubble, find the 2 pieces of lightsaber, grab some tape off of one of those stormtroopers, and tape it back
Mhm.
together.
Oh, okay. It'll be a zombie lightsaber.
Yes, and then it will be actually be able to kill zombie
Gotcha.
stormtroopers.
Yep.
So now everybody that bought all those expensive Disney sabers,
Yeah. See, that's what I
You
think's
gotta-
going
Same
on.
folks that bought the Razor Crest.
You gotta
She's
cut 'em
already
in half.
had. She's already had 3. There's 3 different Ahsoka lightsabers in like the premium lightsaber collection, and now they're going to have a 4th set. They're going to make a 4th set.
So I did like Sabine switch styles here. So now she's saber in one hand and blaster in the other. And
Yeah.
she should have did this from day one, I think. She did pretty good. And there's our weekly.
But why'd she take her helmet
mandatory
off again? It's like leave
I
the
don't
damn
know.
helmet on. Just like
actor.
Just be
And
taking
these
stop
are-
taking your helmet off. I'd be like,
Our
oh,
gratuitous space booty shot.
you're going into battle. Leave your helmet on.
No, didn't she get it knocked off when she was fighting the Death
I
She
don't
did.
care. You pick
The
it up
Death
and put it
Trooper
back
knocked
on.
it off.
Didn't
On
pick it
another
up.
Pick it up
level.
and put it back on.
So here's my problem here. So Vern, you're right. That Death Trooper like punched her in the head, or elbowed her or whatever and knocked her helmet off. But that was 2 stories down below. And at the end of the sequence, Sabine goes and just picks up her helmet from this floor here.
Well,
so how did her helmet go up
one of my
floors?
videos?
It rolled.
Previously, she got both her guns knocked out of her hand, and when she got up at the end of the scene, they were back in her holster. So she has magic powers
It
that
rolled.
we don't know about.
It
rolled
just
up the
rolled into
stairs.
this area.
But here's what I
Maybe
think
it's
about this
one of those
scene now.
chains, like you know how like they put chains on stuff and you hook it to your belt so it doesn't get lost. Like
You know, the
your key.
real
Hey, what's
answer.
going
The
on?
real answer to all these questions is so the show can happen.
Yes. So I thought this was really cool, and I didn't notice this until the second time I was forced to rewatch this garbage. She actually killed her with both the saber and the Power Rangers ninja sword.
Yeah.
So you see, like the
Look at her-
yellow
look at the 2 different
slice
slices
and the
They have
green
different
slice.
glows.
So this is now Ahsoka's new weapon. She has the
Oh.
sword of Power Rangers Zod or whatever it's
Talzin. It was
called,
the sword of Talzin.
and
She
her
kept
short
it, didn't throw
lightsaber
it on the
because
ground?
it was the longer lightsaber that got destroyed. So now she's got the short child-sized lightsaber and the sword. So she doesn't need
Matt.
2 lightsabers now. She's got the witch sword, which is pretty cool.
Maybe she'll just keep using the sword of Mother. It's Mother Talzin's sword. You got that? Did you get it?
She's not a
It
Jedi
was the
then.
sword of Talzin.
But now I brought this up a little earlier. Is she dead or is she a zombie witch?
She's now dead. She was never turned into a zombie. I don't know
But
where
now
you're
she
getting
could-
this.
Now
this-
the sisters or mothers are up in a ship and they're like, "Oh, Thrawn, she's dead," you know.
yeah.
And he's like, "Long live the Empire."
Decide whether or not-
Couldn't they just, blink their black eyes and make her alive again, like they did with all
No.
the stormtroopers?
Because they didn't do that.
So that
to
doesn't make
her.
sense. Then you're saying no, they can't, but we know they can because they just did that with a bunch
If
of
they went
stormtroopers.
and got the body, they could do it. They could do their magic over the body and bring her back. But they're leaving her on the planet as dead.
But then we got to go back to that bounty hunter in the original first 3 parts of the show. It was not on the same planet as the mothers, and they were zombies, or he was a zombie of some kind,
Yeah,
right?
they did it before we even met him.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so why can't she be treated the same way as stupid
Because
Fifth
she
brother,
never
whoever that
died
was?
before.
And then all those zombie troopers? Why can't they revive
Because
her?
she never died before.
Because they're in
She's
another
a way
galaxy
cooler
now.
character than Ahsoka.
They
I would love to
left.
see her.
But they left.
Yeah.
Welcome, Matt.
Yeah.
We got people
I have
all
to
over the
say
world
that,
here
I
that
should
hate the
put some
Ahsoka
chains
show.
on my lightsaber and then
Matt
let it
says
drop
he
to the
liked
floor
it.
and
I'm
see
with
that.
you, John. I loved the whole series.
No, he said he hated it.
He's right there in the thing. You're just not looking at
No,
Let's
I'm
see.
translating it to Canadian.
it.
So a cool little scene here of how he attaches to his space
Yeah.
Eye of Sauron hoop thingy. Best shot of the whole series right here. Like, boom.
Which only makes me wonder what the heck is going on the shoulder pad. Like, okay, I can see the tape that's holding the rest of the armor together. It's wrapped completely around their legs and stuff, but that one on the shoulder pad basically just goes around the edge of the shoulder pad. Doesn't look like it's wrapped around the arm at all. So I don't know. What is the purpose of it?
It would have to go through his shoulder to be wrapped around, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think the red bandages are more of a like decoration. than,
Okay. So they're decoration.
That's my, originally we
Don't
thought it was
purpose.
like duct tape, but I think the goal.
I thought they were holding their armor on.
No,
'Cause
I
it's
think
supposed-
it's keeping the power of the dead inside inside them.
So what you're saying is they were dead before they got reanimated.
Well, that's what I thought.
Well, here's what I
before,
don't
but
get. None of these stormtroopers here have green eyes, so these are.
Nope, these
That's
are
right.
alive
Well,
until
us.
these are alive until they die. They infused them with the power to come back after they die.
No, these
And
are the same
no,
stormtroopers
those-
that ran up the
those
stairs that are
witches
already
were
dead.
like- We're using their power to reanimate those guys in the thriller scene.
Yeah.
This is where I got a little confused because Thrawn didn't send 20 more stormtroopers out of the ship after the ship took off. These are the same ones that died at the bottom of the stairs, and they climbed up all the way up the stairs. But now their eyes aren't green and they move fast. So I was a little confused, but yeah, these are the same zombie troopers that all fall to their death here
Yes.
while they're on the wing of the plane again. Which it looked cool here.
Well, that was the whole point,
reflecting-
right? Just to make some scenes. That
It's
look
all
cool.
about
I
look
mean,
good, feel good, play good. That's what
they
say.
did the Last Jedi just to make some cool scenes.
That's the only reason they made that.
But you don't know
Hold on.
if they got back up after the ship left, though. And then while Thrawn was
Yeah, at the
going in-
bottom of the rubble, all those stormtroopers woke up like,
yeah, they
"Arr!"
could just get up again and be like, "Arr," and then they're going to be
Brains.
wandering around. They're going to be wandering around this planet, like going, "We're all dead. What do we do?"
So Thrawn has won this battle. You know,
Yep.
he may not have won the war, but he has definitely won this battle. His goal was to leave number 2 galaxy and get back to number 1 galaxy. And they have a little force chat, not a force chat, an iPhone message chat without holograms. So another kind of issue I have with, I'll call this Ahsoka show the Filoniverse because it's got its own rules and shit. So we're in Star Wars where we have the technology of holocrons, holograms, holographic images, video, but yet let's just do an audio chat for the first time in the series as opposed to all the videos and holograms and holograms. So that I don't get. Like, even now we have our iPhones. When people text or email me, I'm like, you have a camera.
Did you not watch the Book of Boba Fett?
Yeah,
That
have
guy
you
had
not
this,
watched? And did you even
payphone.
watch Star Wars? Red 5 coming in. This is Gold Leader. Red Leader. We're heading
Hologram.
towards the channel now. They didn't
And then the one
hologram
dude
all
on the
those
motorcycle
chats.
went
They
to
were
a
just
payphone.
vocal.
What's up, Fabulous? This was not better than the Book of Boba Fett. Hello, TJ. All these Ahsoka lovers, man. So we're almost at the very end of the whole Ahsoka and everything about her. We'll never have to hear from her again, ever in the Star Wars universe. But maybe we will.
No, she's going after Balin and Shin. That's why.
So yes, we get.
There's
Cool
a commander.
character.
There's one of the eyes, and there's the handmaids.
Notice how the window actually looks like an eye,
Yeah.
and they call this ship the Eye of Sauron or whatever they call it. Pretty cool.
Rivendell,
That's the
Eye
first
of
time I
Rivendell.
noticed it was an actual
I thought
eye.
the ship was called the Chimera.
And this was kind of the last scene from that we hadn't seen in the trailers was Thrawn on the bridge of this donut ship. So it's kind of cool. We got to see that. And then we got like a funny Lord of the Rings kind of ending. I don't know.
Well, that's why it was called the Lion. The Jedi, the Master and Commander, the Perfect Storm, and something else.
And the Warlord.
And the
Yeah.
Warlord.
Oh, there you
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't love it. I knew it was ending.
I thought
And
it
then
was.
I'm like, let's show the owl now on this eighth episode.
Well, everybody was asking,
Yeah.
I wasn't asking.
but it's foreshadowing because we saw where Balin was at the end.
It is,
know.
and that's part of me
Very
that
foreshadowing about the
I'm
statue
like,
that's destroyed.
introduced this in episode 2.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
You know what I mean? Like they introduced things. There's just not enough closure in this series, in my expert, humble Star Wars opinion. And then Vern's favorite scene of all live action Star Wars. Now, Vern, can you sing the music?
No, there's no music, right?
No,
It
Breakfast
is
Club.
music. It's the
Don't
Breakfast Club.
you?
Forget about me.
Listen, if you think about the
No.
character and just say, who was the character?
Nope.
I told you guys ahead of time. I thought about it when I saw this scene because if you watch the Breakfast Club, she plays basically Judd Nelson's character from the Breakfast Club throughout the entire series, and then ends with the same scene. I think that Filoni's a huge John Hughes fan.
I don't remember him holding up a sword though.
Do you think?
Right at the
Yeah,
end?
he fist pumped, but he didn't have a sword in
That's
his
what
hands.
she
So it's
did.
totally
She
different.
went
Do you
like
think
this.
Judd
It's
Nelson
totally different.
would be in the sequel and play the late Balin Skull's role? Maybe Judd Nelson could fill that role.
No, Judd Nelson couldn't do it.
So to put
No.
it on record here, when Geekstrong called me up the night before, he said that Morgan would kill Thrawn because he can see in her eyes that she disagrees with a lot of stuff that he did. And that didn't happen. So I don't know where he's coming off saying that he got it right. Because
Was this
it was the
before
other
or
way
after
around. Thrawn killed
was-
Morgan.
he was feeding the ducks? That is a better picture for you, Vern.
Yeah, I think it's iconically.
I
The
saw
Breakfast-
Braveheart. I didn't see Breakfast Club when I
I
saw
see
this.
what you're-
In
I
no
see
way
what
did
you're
I
saying,
see
but
Breakfast Club, but I did see Braveheart.
I saw it because of the character is like the angsty troublemaker teenager. Same as
Yeah,
Judd
a little
Nelson
bit.
was in the Breakfast Club. So
I just saw some girl. I just saw some girl showing up and saying, "I am now your leader. Follow me."
Yeah. And this guy is also from the Breakfast Club, and it's the teacher who just happens to have my name. Okay, there.
Sure.
And this, okay, and now I'll go back to showing.
I thought
Balin.
this was the coolest thing. I was like, "Oh my god, it really is the Mortis." Like
this to me is enough for me to never ever watch anything Dave Filoni ever does again. Now,
why?
So I just watched this show for what 34 minutes, and then we have 11 seconds of the only cool character in this whole series that we'll never ever ever see or hear from or see a photograph of a video or anything of ever again. And they just
You're being ridiculous. They will finish this story.
No, I promise you right now, this character will not get recast.
Can I ask you a question, though,
we
about
will not ever get a conclusion to
in
this.
the entire series?
We're all being led to just put our own conclusion to this story of Balin and Shin. We will never see them or hear from them ever again. That's my opinion.
It's because of this. If they do not recast him, they are going to have Shin's character take over the role of what he was going to do. And what they'll do is they'll have Shin and those marauders go to wherever Balin was going and find his dead body. And they'll be like, oh, he failed at his task. But Shin's like, I have the power to do it. And she'll succeed in whatever task he failed in. If they don't recast him, they'll just have Balin do what Balin was going to do. They won't leave this hanging. That's the whole reason Ahsoka's on the planet, is to try and stop Balin from whatever he was going to do.
They will leave us hanging. Like, I could have 3 children by the time we ever hear another story from this series. So why I think that Dave is just letting us fill in the blanks here. And that's, I actually do think in the Balin story, we're just led to fill in the blanks. So what we're looking at here is these statues of what they call the father, the brother, and the sister. So the middle is the father person. The brother is the other one, which is kind of the Anakin character now. He kind of killed. And because I know the stupid lore. Anakin killed that brother dude, and his spirit is now that brother dude. The sister was killed by the brother dude, and her spirit was used to bring Ahsoka back to life the first time she died. So that's those 3 characters. Now Balin will become that father spirit dude, and that's it. That is the story. We'll never see that character again unless it's like, in a dream or I don't know, a drawing on a wall or something. That's what I honestly think. Like, it's tough. Like, I don't know if they just changed this last minute after the actor died and they didn't want to leave it open. But it's sad, man. I don't think we'll ever hear from this character again. And that's why I give this finale a 5 out of 10.
5?
You just don't have to watch anything on Disney Plus ever again. Then, Rick, you're done.
5.
I give episode 8 a 5 out of 10, which the lowest rated of all, even worse than 1, 2, and 3. I thought it was just that.
There was so much in this episode for me to pick from. I have to give it probably like an 8 out of 10. If we're rating, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I'm still up around 8.
I think the whole look, we're not going to get the choreography and the fight scenes like you're going to get in like a feature film, right? So at least you're getting,
why is that?
Lightsaber battles. It was pretty action packed. You didn't sit there and yawn once through the entire show. I know you didn't. Dino fell asleep, but that's him. Falls asleep and everything. John probably stayed awake for the entire thing, and he's fallen asleep.
No, I was asleep. I watched it the next day.
Yeah, but when you watched it, you stayed awake.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you didn't need to watch it a second time until today, because you were fully fulfilled with it on Tuesday.
Fulfilled? Full of something. But yeah, I don't know. So he's actually looking at literally the Eye of Sauron now. Like, not only did they steal all the Lord of the Rings story, they actually have the mountain there with the fire burning above it. Like,
oh, is that what's in the distance?
Do they not think we've seen Lord of the Rings like before?
It looks like Mount Doom in the background. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was.
It is Mount Doom. So it's weird. I don't get it. I don't know what it means to Star Wars. It has nothing to do with the father, the brother, and the sister statues he's standing on.
Yeah, it does. They're pointing to it. What are you talking about?
So what is it? So there is a Mount Doom in Star Wars land now. Like,
well, they're not going to call
Star
it
Wars
Mount Doom,
is-
but there's a mountain with something in it. I mean, geez.
what is it? Is it a gold ring?
It doesn't. Why? Why does it have to be that?
Because
It could be
Balin has
anything.
a ring on. That's why I'm saying this show is getting worse all the time. Like,
Then don't
I don't get it.
Then
And
stop
we'll never
watching.
get it because they'll never explain this to us.
I mean, if you don't like Star Wars, stop watching Star Wars. What are you
isn't
torturing
Star Wars,
yourself
man.
for?
This is Saturday
Well,
cartoons
No,
with Dave
this
Filoni.
was Star Wars. This was a great show. You're just being like a baby about it.
I'm a big baby.
I
I didn't get what I wanted.
Like, look,
I didn't
they
get
both
what I
have
wanted, and I'm pissed off with this, man.
The mountain guy
really
has a beard. This guy has a beard. You guys
I'm
have
telling
beards.
you, you're gonna get it later. You're gonna get it still. It's just gonna be down the road.
They will never be able to satisfy the joy I got watching this actor on the screen here. Never. Not his story, not the character arc, nothing. Like, and again, with Shin, I've been giving her praise every week for her acting skills and how I'm really liking to see her presence on the screen, as well as Balin here. And to shut them completely out of this final episode, I don't know, man. It was just piss poor, in my opinion. Like, every choice that he made was bad.
Okay, all right. If you were writing this, what would their role have been in the final episode?
I don't know, but the first
Oh,
seven
hey, no.
episodes,
You're not
the
allowed to
first
say I don't
seven
know.
episodes
You obviously
led
have
up to this.
opinions. So
I don't know their history, Vern, so that's not a
what
possible
would you
question I
have
could
wanted
answer.
to see them do in the final episodes?
They could kill Ahsoka.
That's not gonna
Because
happen.
because if they killed Ahsoka, then we go to like the sequels,
Realistically,
and
Dave
the sequels
Filoni's never
don't change
gonna
at all.
kill any of
Ahsoka's
the
still
same
dead.
characters. It's just
So
never
that's what I
gonna
mean. None of these characters, and even in the movie that Dave will eventually make, nothing in any of his movies changes Anakin or Darth Vader or Luke's story or Rey or Kylo or Han Solo. None of it. None of it changes anything. Babu Frick is still Babu Frick. Grogu is still green. Bo-Katan still has a dark saber. Because it's all the same universe, and there's other Jedis.
Bo-Katan doesn't have a dark saber.
Luke was the only Jedi left. But yet
That's like saying
three more
No
Jedis.
longer has a dark
There's a
saber.
blue admiral. There's witches with green magic.
that's
But
like
yet,
okay, Rick.
Luke is
That's
the
like
only
saying
Jedi.
that's like saying Paulie Podunk, who lives in frickin' Kansas, is going to have a direct influence on your life in Canada because you live in the same universe. Who gives a shit? There's a billion people living all over this world, 7 billion people that have no interaction with your life. So why would they have interaction with, like, why does everybody in Star Wars have to interact with Luke Skywalker? Like, it's the same.
Why
thing.
does every character in Bob the Builder interact with Bob the Builder? Why does Dora the Explorer look at the map? It's because they're all in the same freaking universe. That's what you do. It's like Bob the Builder doesn't hang out with the Teletubbies or with Bugs Bunny because they're different.
Characters that are in a different corner of the universe doing different.
They're only in a
things.
different corner of the universe because Dave had to take them to another universe, so it didn't mess with the real Star Wars. Like, he had no choice because no one knows of these characters. They don't exist in the real Star Wars. Like,
well, they exist now.
I agree it was entertaining, but for 8 or 10 weeks to go by and we don't know anything about these coffins, nothing. They could literally be spice sticks, like or just boxes of kyber crystals or
who knows? Yeah.
Space blue milk containers. Like, we don't know what this shit is. It's just we'll get the answer in a comic. I swear, man. The only answers we're going to get from the show are going to be comics.
Whatever the next show is, we're going to get the answer on.
Skeleton
Could just
Crew.
be Mandalorian season 4. Is that where they're at now? Are we waiting for season 4 or season 5? I can't.
They haven't
It'll
filmed.
probably be the Mandalorian because Carson Teva will like run off and tell Mando, "Hey, we got this big threat to the galaxy, and we're going to need your guys' help." Then he's going to have to go find Bo-Katan, who does not have a dark saber, by the way. And then
dark saber then
it got cut in half, destroyed.
Yeah, we can't do armor rebuild. Oh, that's okay. Good point. So now give Bo-Katan the green Power Ranger sword.
There you go. Yeah.
She can't because it's in a galaxy further away.
Force chat it.
She could
We got
open
cool
one of the
ships here.
special windows that you guys were talking about in this between worlds thing. She could run it down the hallway, toss it to Bo-Katan through another window, and then run on back to her own the galaxy where she's at.
And we went weeks and weeks and weeks where everyone's talking about the world between worlds and this and that, and then never again is it brought up or mentioned ever again.
Yeah, I knew it wouldn't be because that's a cheap
Why
way
even
out.
bring it up to begin with? It makes no sense, man. She's lost. We're all lost. Then this was kind of a cool scene, but at the same time, I was disappointed. So if I hadn't seen, my good friend in 10 years, I would probably hug him, kind of like Sabine hugged Ezra. But Chopper gave him the most love here when Ezra showed up on these ships here. Chopper somehow recognized.
Yeah.
Does he smell that bad? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
but it was cool. He said, "I'm
picked up
home."
the helmet immediately. Hera recognizes him.
Oh, because he doesn't look anything like when he was a 10-year-old boy without a beard.
Yeah.
But it was cool. But I thought there could have been a little hug or a little bit of interaction. And also, I thought that like this fish dude and some of these people were dead. Like, didn't Balin and Shin kill them?
That guy standing next to Hera, go back.
Admiral One Dot?
He's holding his blaster in his left hand. Is the holster on his right side?
Yeah, like who in Star Wars is left-handed? Come on, man. Good eye, Vern. But yeah, so I don't know, it was kind of cool. The special effects, the costumes, except for these
See it, TJ.
Spirit Halloween rental costumes in the background here. Looked pretty good. But I thought there could have been a hug here. I really thought it just would have made
I don't hug in Star Wars.
All those because Sabine hugged him. All those Ahsoka lovers would have.
See the tape on the shoulder things? What's the point?
It looks cool, man.
Yeah.
No,
that's the only point. Same with having a beard. It's because it looks cool. There's no point. There's no point to having a beard. But then again, I don't know. We're coming to the end of this, and thank God, man, because let's change another thing, says Dave Filoni. Let's change. We have changes of clothes now in the spirit world.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like, where did he go? Macy's?
But how does
it make? Who cares?
So this is our first ever look, not first ever look, because we saw him in the remade prequels. Hayden Christensen portraying the spirit of Anakin, who is Sebastian Shaw. It's not Anakin, it is Sebastian Shaw. So I already disagree with that, but I mean, for the sake of this series and Hayden being the great Canadian kid he is, I'm glad. It was a kind of a neat scene. They didn't get to see him, which I'm like, okay, that's fucking pointless. But he got to see them. But what? How did he change his clothes?
Who cares? He's a ghost.
I care because it's Star Wars. We have the Force doesn't work that way.
How do you know how the Force works? Did you write the
Because I've watched every Star Wars, and I know that Force spirits don't have a closet of attire to select from.
You don't know that?
Yeah.
Well, apparently they do now.
If they can
so now, the next time we see Yoda, he could be wearing Clone Wars armor.
The Jedi, the wardrobe, and the Warlord, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they should have called it wardrobe because Force spirits have a wardrobe.
No, can I say something about the Force ghost? This is what I really think. I think like at the end of like Return of the Jedi, I don't think they should have ever changed it to be Hayden Christensen, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's fine to show the Force ghost to Ahsoka as this version of Anakin. And I think the Force ghost should appear to you like this is the way I would like have wanted it to be the storyline. The Force ghost would appear to you as you last saw the person. Like if you had the last time you saw them, they were young, then their Force ghost comes back to you as a young person, so you would recognize them. But if like with Kenobi, he's an older guy, right? He shouldn't come back as Ewan McGregor unless it was for somebody who hadn't seen him as an old person.
Yeah, that's where I don't want to use the word continuity or let's just call it Filoni rules versus George Lucas rules. Filoni is he is not trying to, but he is changing things that we thought were like common knowledge Star Wars rules and stuff like that.
You mean
But
like
George changed it first. George changed it first when he did use Hayden as the Force Spirit of Anakin in the remake of Jedi.
Right. He ruined Jedi.
He didn't ruin it, but I just thought it was, I don't know.
No, he ruined it.
It was probably the worst change or addition he made to the Jedi. Like, I didn't mind blinking Ewoks. I didn't mind CGI dewbacks. I didn't.
The Last Jedi.
I didn't mind the extra Jabba singers and dancers. Like, it's just he added stuff.
That song.
He didn't take stuff away. But when he took away Sebastian Shaw, the actor who Luke, not revived, but
yes, Rolando. That's
saved before he passed away. That should be the spirit of Anakin, in my opinion. But again, I just thought
it appear to you as you last saw them. So, like for Luke, he should never see this version of Anakin. So
only 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds should see Hayden Christensen as a ghost, and everyone older should only see Sebastian.
Like the last time Ahsoka saw him was not as the old Anakin.
No, she never saw him at this age. That's what I mean. Like,
so they should have de-aged him more and made him like the Clone Wars version or whatever she saw. But that should be always her version of how Anakin appears to him, right? With Kenobi, the Anakin should always appear to him as when basically he became Darth Vader as the younger version. Right?
I think it's when you died.
To Luke, it should always be Sebastian Shaw.
Right.
To Ahsoka, it would make sense to be Anakin or this guy.
When I'm a ghost, I'm not going to show up as a clean-shaven, 13-year-old boy.
Because he's never been
when I die.
Never, not once in his life.
How do you know?
He was born with that beard.
I was. No, but it's not how the Force works. I have to say it over and over.
You don't know how the Force works.
Yeah, how do you know?
I'm a self-proclaimed Star Wars expert.
It's like Gap said. It's not freaking real.
They took away that
whatever
Ewok
the hell it
song.
wants to do.
Matt says, "Come on, guys, it's not real. It's Star Wars."
Yeah, it can do whatever the hell it wants to do and what it needs to do for the story.
And that guy should have stayed in Vegas.
The Blue Man Crew. So
I agree. The Yub Nub song should never have left. That's the other thing. So it's the music that I don't like. It's the musical changes that I don't like to Return of the Jedi.
Who asked what these pins are for? Do you ever seen them sign anything like a captain's log?
What,
those little big
pocket?
Yeah.
No, those are door capsules. They let you into different rooms.
It's just decoration.
Didn't you see that in the cartoons where they pull those things out and they
apparently John has not watched one of my videos where I said I've never seen any of the animated shows.
So if anyone wants to jump on and tell me how much this show sucked overall, or how much you are a Ahsoka simp and lover, I just posted the link here in the chat. Hopefully it's not a stranger with his pants down, because that's not going to happen on my channel.
What about a non-stranger?
Put away the hammerhead. But I know there's a few, at least got to be more than one person besides me that didn't. This isn't my favorite Star Wars.
No, you're the only one.
Oh, you haven't been paying attention to Jonathan or Gap or anyone in the chat? They didn't like it either.
No, that's why
they're just telling him that to make him feel better. Oh. Everybody loved this.
So Gap only gave it a 3 out of 10.
This series is going to be a cinematic masterpiece along with The Last Jedi.
And if you're chicken, come on and tell me your thoughts. Give us a rating out of 10 in the chat.
Listen, I'll tell
right after you hit like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications.
This is what I think.
I literally lose 40 hours of watch time a day now. Every day that goes by, I lose hours. So
because you had some really good videos like a year ago, apparently, and now
now your videos suck.
I live in bizarro Google YouTube world where
you know what you were doing like a year ago.
New live videos every week that get hundreds of views, and I lose 100 view hours in a week. So that's let's keep it going. So motivated.
Last year around this time, right? Like about a little bit over a year ago, I think you were doing those streams where you were like drawing and showing people your drawing and doing those, and those accumulated your hours. So like when that
But they really
time
didn't. They
period,
only accumulated like 3 hours.
but
Nobody
when that
watched my
time
videos.
period passes, those drop off because it only counts the last year, right? The last 12 months. You got to look at what you were doing in the last 12 months.
No, I get it. I'm just bugging. I'm writing to the Google president right now. It's broken.
Yeah, the Google's no help. I will say this, like, so with the okay, let me move my camera again. I had it all set up and then you got rid of it. I liked this show just because it had some good pacing to it, right? Like it wasn't like Andor. Ooh.
Oh, way to go, Vern.
Vern just died. Now he's back as a zombie.
So
just look at his green eyes.
I know. Like with Andor, it was long. There were some things that you had to sit through, but it was like storytelling, right? There was like a lot more storytelling, and they were trying to get you somewhere. Ahsoka, I thought, was more of let's make you feel like good at the end of every episode that you got what you came for, some Star Wars action, some Star Wars kind of theming, and it was fun along the way. And maybe it was cartoony in a way, the storyline, it didn't like, and it was disappointing that it didn't seem like it had like a really good ending to it, just because it seemed like
I agree with that.
To be continued, but it was fun to watch.
Like I don't think this series could like hold Andor's jock strap. Like it was.
Well, Andor was
not even in the same category.
It's like comparing. Look, I do it all the time, but it's like comparing Star Wars and Star Trek. Right? They're two different shows. Like Star Wars is kind of supposed to be fun, adventure seeking, like seat of your pants, and Star Trek's supposed to be more of like a thinking person's show where you go in there and it's more brainiac or whatever. And I think Andor kind of followed that a little bit, where it was.
I think Star Trek is more like clown TV, not clown TV, more like B movie. Like it's meant to be silly and funny, and
it's not meant to be silly and funny.
But it was though originally. No. And then I think when they made Next Generation,
that's just because you watched the movies. That's the best they could do at the time.
It was, but I think it was also meant to be a little bit campy and
no, kind of like Batman was campy. Star Trek
Batman
was not.
Too. I agree. Yeah. So I thought it was a lot like Batman '66, where it was
because there was no cows and zips and things. They didn't tilt the camera every time they showed like a bad creature or something like that. That was Batman.
Star Trek. For all you Star Trek lovers, please go subscribe to Vern's channel. I will not post. No, link is already in the description. Damn it!
I'm already getting like a lot of grief for my Star Wars stuff.
Like I can compare a Bugs Bunny cartoon to a Tom and Jerry cartoon to a Superman and Friends cartoon to like all the cartoons. I can compare them. I can't compare Ahsoka to any other live action Star Wars shows because it's not in the same category or league. Like Andor raised the bar. Like Mandalorian blew us all away. I think we all got a lot of fun and nostalgia and new modern Star Wars, what they can do when we got introduced to the Mandalorian and Baby Grogu and all that stuff. And then we had other shows after that, Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi. Some people didn't love it. Some people did love it. Like, those weren't highly acclaimed, but they still kept most of the fans satisfied. And then I think they picked a tier. Let's pick this tier of just this kind of section of fans. And they made this show for them. And that's why I didn't like the show from the beginning, even before it was made, but I gave it a shot. And then I think he just killed it in the end by not answering the only thing I cared about in this whole series, and that was Balin's story. They made him, they showed him, they told us some about him, but not enough. So yeah, that's enough for me, man. Like the worst character in Andor, I thought was a better character than anyone else but Balin in this show.
He whiz! Oh my god!
Yeah, it's just.
And this won't gain me any more views than last week's episode where I said I liked it.
Well, you shouldn't be like basing your opinion on how many views you get. You should base your opinion on whether you really liked a show or not.
I didn't really like the show. But I did appreciate new Star Wars.
I just
the
think
fact
you
that
should
they're
stop
using
watching
different
Star Wars
directors.
completely.
They're
I just
using
think you
different
should.
directors
If
now.
all you're ever going to be is disappointed, I don't think you should.
I
watch
think there should be
anything Star Wars.
someone in charge at Lucasfilm that says, "Yeah, what the fuck were you thinking, man? Like, do they pre-read like scripts and story before they sign a checkbook and say, yeah, go ahead, Dave, you can use the volume today and film this whole series in one day. Like, go ahead, you got my approval." I honestly don't think anyone read this. Like, not Pablo, not Jon Favreau. It's like they were told, this is what I'm doing, and you have no say in the matter. It seemed like no one else had any kind of story input here, unless it was changed. Do you think anything in the show was changed because of the passing of Ray Stevenson and stuff?
No.
Do you think there maybe was some other scenes that they cut just so it didn't kind of mislead us to something we're not going to ever see? Because I partially think that's in the realm of possibilities that maybe he did have more minutes of dialogue in this episode and maybe other episodes where they have to change the direction now, so they maybe cleaned it up a bit and changed something so we didn't have to get to speculate. We were just left to let our minds wander. I don't know, man.
I don't think they changed anything, because if they did, I think they would have. I think if they had an opportunity to change something, they would have killed him off. So
but how do you do that when he's not there to bring him in to do a reshoot? Yeah,
they would have CGI'd it or done something. Yeah, they would have.
They're at the little people, the little red guys' tents. You know, the little people that were Chin went.
I don't think they were little people. I think they were
runs
tall
out
people.
of the tent and says, "He passed away," or he's going. He wants to talk to you, and Chin has to run in there, and she talks to like the shape of somebody laying on a bed, and then they pass away. I mean, they did it in another movie.
Yoda did it.
No, what I'm saying is, isn't that how Leia went? It was just like off camera.
Yeah.
Yes, but again, how this
they
kind
showed
of
a body wrapped in cloth. Yeah.
How it kind of breaks the Star Wars I ranted about a little while ago when Yoda tells Luke, like, you know, at one point, you're the last one, you're the last Jedi. I'm the most powerful Jedi ever. I know this because I'm Yoda. But then when he's about to die, there's another Skywalker, and he talks about Leia. But does Yoda not know there's an Ahsoka or a Sabine or an Ezra or a Balin and Shin? Like,
they are not Jedis.
That's why how Dave kind of breaks the Star Wars a little bit.
Jedi. They never
Jedi.
I don't know how. That's not Dave's fault. George made Ahsoka.
Led an army.
George made
Yoda.
Ahsoka.
So Yoda did know who Ahsoka was in the cartoons, but in live action, he didn't.
Yoda couldn't even figure out that the Emperor was like putting a cloud over everybody.
Yeah.
He's not all knowing.
And you can't blame Dave because George made Ahsoka. Watch the damn making of
Dave, but Dave just revived her because George didn't want her to live. He wanted her to die at some point.
And you know when Yoda said that he had to go into hiding in that other movie? In hiding, I must go. I thought he was going to Sesame Street.
Actually, to be 2029. 2029, join us for season 2 of the Ahsoka After Show. No. John will have 3 grown kids. Vern will have great grandkids by then. I will have hair by then because it will grow back. They'll have a cure for baldness.
They have a hat you can wear that's supposed to like stimulate your follicle growth
or block the glare.
Yeah, no, you wear this like hat that has something in it, and then you can wear like a baseball cap and walk around, and nobody knows you're wearing this like hat, but it's supposed to stimulate.
Well, they know you're wearing a hat. They just don't know it's stimulating your hair.
Right. You don't know that you have that little cap or whatever.
It's not like an invisible hat, right?
I don't know why I see the commercials for that, but yeah.
And after us today, Vern and the Toy Duo team are going to be talking toys and all the awesomeness that was revealed this week. That's 12 o'clock, right, Vern? 12. So if we don't go that long, please go hit the link here from Orlando. But I've also directed this video to go directly to the Toy Duo afterwards, so you have no choice.
I think we're
Unless
gonna have to change the name of that pretty soon.
I thought it was already the toy team.
I got some ideas. We should chat. We can do some logos and stuff.
Yeah,
I did I got a poll. I got 2 ideas for names that I threw out there in a poll that'll be on when we're on.
I didn't see no poll.
Was it a dancing poll? I didn't see any dancing
polls.
polls.
The stream in the chat, there's going to be a poll.
He puts these polls up that nobody sees.
You got to go to the actual chat. You can't see it from StreamYards.
I love dancing polls.
Anyways,
we need more dancers in live action Star Wars. But so I saw a couple people. I think just Gap put a 3 in the chat. So I believe Gap is not the only one in the chat. Rank this show overall, guys and girls, in the chat. Like 1 to 10, what did you think of the whole series of Ahsoka on Disney Plus?
I'm saying 8.5 overall.
That's a good rank.
I got an 8.
8's fair.
I mean, like, honestly, I'll tell you, like, some of these shows, like with Secret Invasion, I ended up fast forwarding through some of the scenes just because I was like, yeah, let me see what happens. So I end up clicking 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds.
Don't tell anyone, Vern, but I did that for the Ahsoka show today.
I might just skip and watch the last episode and see what happens, because I don't know why, but that Secret Invasion, I lose interest every time I start watching it.
And now they got all the Marvel figures in the stores like that I really want the Nick Fury.
9 from overall. Gap gives it a 0.08. That's pretty fair. 0.08. That's what you meant to put, right, Gap?
Yeah.
That is the legal limit in California.
6 out of 10's kind of in my neck of the woods. Like before this episode happened, I was in the 8 range. 8 Canadian, which is like 6 American. But I would have given it an 8. I would have kept it high. If Balin had one line of dialogue in this episode that was just like, oh, maybe like, fuck, man, gonna miss you, Ray.
He didn't say one thing.
Man, and I was sad.
When he was on that hand, like that by the finger pointing, he didn't go, damn, this is high.
He could have said, I was sad, man. I was overall. Then it went to a next scene. I'm like, for fuck's sakes, they're not. That's it. They gave us that 1 8-second clip of Balin, and I was sad. Like I didn't cry, I didn't break down in tears, but I was inside. I was hurt because I'm like, God, man, the one thing I was so excited about this series, the one character and actor, it just didn't do him justice in the end. I know it's fate and shit happens, but God, man, I was disappointed, man. So you know what? So I'll go up to that 6 again for my 5. I was entertained every week. I was excited to learn more about Balin and Shin, but just sadly, I was disappointed in the end when they didn't give us any, member.
Yeah, I did like the Balin and Shin characters. It's unfortunate.
Matt gives it an 8
because I wish that there was an opportunity to get like a series about them, like before all this happened. So
sure, like if they're going to introduce those red, raider kind of creatures, it's a new creature. Like I'm all for the new creatures and aliens, whatever, if they're aliens or not. But now we got this other character, this Enoch guy, who talks like a Cylon and looks like a Roman gladiator. I'm like, he didn't fight nobody, and nothing about him. So many years will go by. Like children will graduate high school by the time we ever learn more about that character.
Yeah,
unless
because
they throw it in some comic books.
Look, I can see, like, if Enoch was introduced in like 1983, right, and was left as it is, he would have his own series. Right? It would be called The Book of Enoch.
The Book
because
of Enoch.
I see that guy.
They wrote that.
No more.
They wrote that already for Burn.
Did they?
Like I did.
Yeah, they wrote that like 2,000 years ago, but they didn't include it in the Bible. They decided it was heretic.
I see the outfit and stuff like that. It's so cool. I think it's like iconic that I think it's comparable to like when you first saw Boba Fett in a way that I think like, he can become like a sleeper, like
why not?
Where you have like a shelf full of like Enochs or whatever. Mixed all your Boba Fett.
So
I was just thinking about Secret Invasion. I bet Jonathan, because Jonathan
Loved
and I are always opposite. He'll probably tell you it was the best show ever.
No, he
10 out
actually
of
says
10.
it's so bad.
Oh,
Listen, all
we
you gotta do is-
agree? Are you
listen, all
kidding
you-
me? We agree on something?
Jonathan
Yeah.
liked Ahsoka better than Secret
You
Invasion.
could
by the
go,
looks of it.
just watch the last 15 minutes of the last episode, and then you realize I didn't miss anything.
Okay, all right, good. That's all I want to.
Sam F. and Jackson. I like him. I like Amelia Earhart. I like the characters, the actors. So.
They had such an opportunity, and I don't know.
You know
But
what
that
I
was-
realized while I was sitting here? So
You don't have a Hulk shelf.
I painstakingly put all of the Spider-Man good guys and villains. They're all in here in a perfectly cast in tiered levels, so that
Sure.
if you're standing here, you can see them. And I forgot to put in
Hobgoblin.
the Hobgoblin and the Goblin. So these two are still sitting here, not in the. So, do I take the entire display down and try to fit these two in it, or
I think you just give them their own shelf.
give
You got
them
a
their own
whole
shelf?
right
Yeah.
there.
You put them on the Hulk
Do you want to
shelf.
see it? Do you want to see it?
Let's go.
How's that look?
I'll turn the stabilization on.
Spider-Man's. Is it Spider-Men or Spider-Man's?
He's got his pizza.
Nice.
I like Spider-Ham. That was a comic I loved when I was a kid. Peter Porker and a spectacular Spider-Ham.
Is little Miles breakdancing, or what's he doing?
Yeah, he's spider moves. He's doing spider
Oh,
moves.
spider moves.
He's dope, Fern. That's what he does.
Who's that green dude in the back?
Green dude in the bag? You mean the vulture?
No, next to the vulture. Oh, the scorpion. Never mind.
Yeah. And the frog guy's there, human fly, Mysterio. And then we got the Avengers villains.
Yeah, those are some cool colors in those characters. The green and the red. I like that. So that's a Secret Invasion character, isn't it? That Skrull guy?
Yeah, there's two Skrulls there.
Okay.
The Skrull
extra-
cap, like the king of the Skrulls, and then the Super Skrull.
So Skrulls have super big right fists? Is that in Secret Invasion?
The Super Skrull had all the powers of the Fantastic Four. So one arm is invisible.
Oh,
one arm
that's
is the
right.
thing,
Okay.
And
That's pretty cool.
yeah. And then we got the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Fern, do you agree with me that we find Super John's lack of Hulk?
Yeah,
Really-
I also want to call John out right now. I don't want to,
Like,
but
do we
I feel
kick
like
him out of the club?
No, I have to call him out because last week or the week before, he looked at some figures. He goes, "Those are cool. I don't collect MCU figures."
Okay,
Go
except
back up.
for the Guardians of the Galaxy, 'cause they don't
Okay,
have
there
comic
you
book
go.
versions.
There you have it. There you
They
have
don't have comic book versions of the
Yes, they
Guardians of the
do.
Galaxy.
They do now.
it. They did. I have the Star-Lord.
Well, and then they have who's the Mohawk guy? They have a
Yeah, they got
cartoony
him.
one of him.
Now that and they've started pumping them out.
The Galactus display looks good.
Are those Fantastic Fours down at the bottom?
That's all I've done so far.
Come on, man! You've been up since 3 a.m. You should be able to be done by now.
It takes
So
me like
Fabulous
5
Watch.
hours to do one shelf.
Half an episode. Yeah, but which episode was it fabulous? Was it the finale? Because Vern says you only need to watch that one.
I
who
say
did-
that I think
who
yeah.
died.
If you watch the last part of the finale, you see the really crappy special effects and that last fight scene, and you're just like, oh, okay, well, all of it was for that, and then you just thank yourself for not enduring.
So was this the coolest scene in all of the Ahsoka show? Long live the Empire!
When Enoch turned toward the camera, did he go bonehead?
He went, by your command.
I think he said
Wing
bonehead.
wong. Wing wong.
He said, "So shall it be written."
That's exactly what he said.
Well, we're gonna
to the
get.
ending.
I gotta go get my lunch here and eat it.
Go get our lunch, John. Go get us
before I
some
go on
burgers and
Vern's
sandwiches.
show.
So thanks to all you Ahsoka lovers for joining me and my special guest this season on the Ahsoka After Show. I did have the most fun of this whole season was discussing it with you guys on the YouTube. So thank you for that.
He's like, I'm really glad you guys showed up for the last one because, boy, you two guys that don't know anything about Ahsoka with me.
Man, can you imagine this shit by
Well,
myself?
I like how
Me
Waze
bitching
just
for half an
gave up. Like 2 episodes ago. He wasn't on the last
He gets
2.
so
He was like, I
invested.
hate the.
No,
he's
no,
like, I hate
don't
the
you
show so
understand?
much.
This is going right back to paragraph 14 of chapter 7.
No, it's I totally loved his passion for this show. And Sir
He does
Eric,
have
you
a lot
were
of
greatly
passion for
missed. He's elbows deep in baby poop and stuff like that. I get it,
I
man.
know. Yeah.
I would have loved more of your input over this season because I know this show was made for the younger crew, and that's cool, man. I respect that. Not all Star Wars can be just for me, but this can be just for
It
me.
has to be.
Oh, that's cool.
Boom. So this
I was
guy's
gonna
going to
grab
get
my
played with
custom
today.
Nope.
Yeah, I've been watching everyone's review on him. He looks awesome, man. I can't wait to open him up.
I think I'm going to.
Did you order him, John? The black
What?
K?
No, I didn't get him. No, I didn't get him.
So this in Canada, the price tag on it? No, this was $55 in Canada. The 3.75-inch version is $4 cheaper.
If they go to Ollie's, and I can get him for $9.99, yes, I will buy him. But I'm not buying him at $50 or whatever the hell he is.
I
Well,
did.
you know
But
what?
I did.
Target-
I pre-ordered him, so I'm a sucker for the Wookiees, man. Love me some
John,
Wookiee action.
Target has like a coupon in their app, right? So it's like $10 off 50 or $25. It didn't work. So I was in there struggling to get the coupon to take
I
it
heard
off.
this story. Yeah, you said it. Yeah.
And then what ended up happening was the lady just says, "I'll just give you a $10 gift card."
Yeah.
So she gave me a $10 gift card instead. So I got the gift card, and then my Target Circle earnings somehow gave me $10, and the coupon's still available. So like I can go back in there and order $50 more, get $10 off with the coupon, supposedly use that gift card, then use my earnings,
And now have 30 bucks.
Yeah, 30.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that with something.
Actually, I don't think you told me that story. I think someone else in my Florida collecting group that I'm in.
Yeah,
was
but I
talking
mean,
about
what they
that.
do, tell them to go talk to the customer service because they gave me a gift card.
No, that's what they did. Yeah, that's what they're
Oh, yeah.
doing. Yeah,
That's
it hasn't. Yeah, here it is. He said it was in here. He said that it didn't work when they went to the register and they gave him a $10 gift card.
yeah, that's
So
cool.
Same thing. It must not be working in a lot of Targets, so they're doing that. They're just giving people. Oh, and they
Send me
found
some Target gift cards.
And these
Please,
guys
thank
found
you.
some tiger sharks on roller skates. Look at that.
Wow, fantastic.
Nice. I think those are making a comeback. I think someone's trying to
Anybody
make
want
them.
to try to create a toy line?
Yes.
Oh, I do, Vern. Let's do it.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
I
do
have
it.
some. Oh, well, it's buried now. I keep thinking about wanting to do something like that.
The first figure I won't make is this one.
We should create a military toy line and call it the Force of Action.
I'm not going to bring up that topic, but I saw a couple of YouTube videos and
Just kidding.
I saw a couple of Instagram posts yesterday, and I'm like, oh, people are doing this.
So what kind of toy line, Vern?
Well, according to
Well, I know
Orlando,
you like 3.75, but I like the 6-inch line, but I could do either. I
I'm
think
not
it would be
asking
kinda
that. I'm
cool.
saying what kind? Like, do you want it to be like Transformers, G.I. Joe? Like, what do you want?
Yeah, I think we should try to create like our own like heroes or something like that, and maybe do like a web comic to base them on.
Just all Hammerhead,
But
all the time collection of toys, and every
Make a
know,
toy line. Make a toy line based on Hammerhead and action type characters, medieval like
I'm down.
He-Man and GI Joe.
I'm trademarking it all right now.
oh, can you imagine like a military force
Just-
caught in prehistoric times?
Yes.
That would be kind of cool.
What do we call them? Roman gladiators, or
No, like a modern military force that gets transported back in time.
oh, okay. And then they ride the dinosaurs.
Yeah, something like that.
So
Create
special
an
thanks.
image of a toy line that has GI Joe
AI
type
crap.
figures mixed with dinosaurs
I know that we're going to talk about one
based
today, but
on Hammerhead.
You know, AI
Yeah,
just goes to like my Instagram and someone else's Deviant Art and Google.
Stop
and just
ruining the
combines
fun,
it.
Rick.
It's not
Don't
fun, man.
ruin the fun.
I'm an artist. People,
Right. I think we should do it. I think we should do it.
Pay me
We just-
$1,000 and I'll design you what you just said, but it will take me a month. It won't be instant.
You know, I used to draw comics when I was a kid, and my comics were all like loosely based on superheroes. I just mixed and matched their uniforms and powers.
Gotcha.
So my Iron Man was like a mix of Iron Man and Captain America, kind of. He was like a meld of the two.
Okay, and before we leave today, we just gotta all just pose for the yearbook annual, and we thumbs up or thumbs down on the Ahsoka show. Screenshot. All right, we are the best, guys. I can't believe we don't all have 300 million subscribers.
There you
Yeah,
go.
let's do it. So thanks, everyone. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you on the toy duo team trio, a quadruple,
Whatever you want to call it.
however many people show up, we'll change the name that at that time.
All right. Thanks for
That's
having
how
me.
it goes. And don't forget,
Left coast is the best coast.
We back. We in effect. What? We back.
What?
We back. Oh man, you lose, dog. All right, you out. Next round.